Boy, do I have some catching up to do with you guys. Welcome back to the channel. Let's get into it. Welcome back to the channel. If you're new here, my name's Carlos. Behind me is my Jeep Wrangler, and we're working on a custom steel flatbed for it, as you can see. And it's been about 2 or 3 weeks since I updated you guys last, and I got a lot done. Now, I've kind of been not the greatest at actually filming much of that process, but my last video was like 27 minutes long, and I'm not going to do that to you guys again. So let's just quickly go through everything we've done already and show you where we're at now. I'd say it works. All right, guys, so I copied basically exactly what I did on the other side, on this side. And the bottom trimmed out around the body mount, and the wheel arch starts right in front of the wheel, like so. And as you can see, looks like our wheel arch is lined up pretty well with the tire. And now we're gonna do our bends. Side number 2 is on and painted. So I am going to end up wrapping all of the panels, and they're going to be the same vinyl as the Jeep. So the paint I'm not super worried about, but I just need something for the vinyl to stick to. But as you can see from the side, it's starting to come together. And that bend is pretty spot on. So we have the rear main panel and then 2 side panels. These 2 side panels are actually going to come out of the wheel wells, because I have about 40 inches worth of space to work with on this wheel arch that I cut out, and that's plenty to close that up. All right, panels 2 and 3 are on. So now I just have these smaller triangle panels in the rear, and we got to get the taillights and license plate on this back panel. And just like that, we're legal again. So just for temporary purposes, I went ahead and screwed this in the way that I did the other sides. This is, however, going to end up on hinges at the bottom so that I can fold it down to access the storage trunk. I don't have time today to figure that part out, and I am going to need to come up with some kind of like quick release screws to go in there so that I can fold it down. But for the time being, this is going to work perfectly. I've got all the lights plugged back in, and I'm good to go and drive this thing again as it is. Now, of course, I do still have to figure out these corners, and for that, it's a little bit more interesting. All right, so these corner pieces are kind of puzzling me, because the way that I did this angle, and just to kind of make things line up down here, it's going to take a couple different bends. So I have the original bend at the top that I have on every side, but then I'm also going to have a bend right around here. But yes, you can see kind of the shadow. I'm going to have a second bend that will be able to line up on the other side. All right, so I'm bending over this corner piece here, and I'm really realizing that, like, as far as like shapes and stuff goes, I don't have any clue what I'm doing. So I think I'm gonna make this work, but we're gonna see. All right, so you can kind of see how that worked, and this is what it's looking like back here as of now. So I need to trim this out a bit more, and then I'm guessing push that back further. I'm not super stoked with how that looks, but this side, well, we got a gap here as well. So anyways, that's where I'm at. Hey, we got it. We finally got the corner figured out. So I kind of just left that side alone, came over here to this side, and this is what it's supposed to look like. So I'm gonna go ahead and drill out the holes, get this thing mounted into position. I'm gonna have to figure out some kind of situation for down here, because there is no mount tab, and right now this panel is actually intersecting or going over top of this panel, and I kind of like that. So maybe I can, I don't know, maybe I can figure something out like this. Side panels or corner panels are done. I am just waiting for I put a little body filler on this little seam. So I actually connected, I welded the corner to the side and added some body filler. So I'm waiting for that all to dry so I can sand it back down and do the whole thing. But looking at the back, it kind of bothers me a little bit. I don't love how flat this is, and the license plate I think is a big part of that. It looks like it's just cheap and like just thrown on there. The lights bother me too, but I'm not gonna worry about those just yet. I think I am, however, going to cut out the license plate and recess it just a little bit at kind of an angle so that it's flat and straight. I don't know about you guys, but I think that looks way better, where there's just now a defined area for that license plate, and I can also wire up the license plate light to mount underneath there. And as you guys can see, all the steel is done. So we're like 90% done with this. Now, the only thing we have left to do is the wood deck on the top of the bed and wrap this bad boy. And with that said, it's crunch time for Jeep Beach. So I've got to figure out exactly what kind of wood I'm going to use for the deck, get that done, get this thing wrapped and lettered up, and get it on the road to Daytona. So thank you so much for watching this video. I appreciate each and every one of you. Subscribe if you haven't already. We're getting towards the end of the flatbed build, and now after that it's going to be time to actually go out and use it and enjoy it. So you definitely don't want to miss the adventures that we're going to go on once this thing is finished up. After all, it's almost wheeling season. And with that, I'll see you guys in the next one.